Hi guys, happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Not sure if you participated in watching the sports ball event over the weekend, but if you did, I hope you had a good time. If not, then you join the rest of us in not partaking. But at any rate, I took my time this weekend to kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the items on the agenda. As you know, we've been working through the end of December warrant list, and we were just about through here. We stopped off right around here, um, right around this area. And as we were going through, I noticed an item on here with vendor Nicholas Lee Paxton. And it is labeled BD for Building Development, Professional Services and Mileage for November. And we paid him $8,700. So contracted services. So this one caught my eye, guys. This one caught my eye because this is a lot of money. So I wanted to find out who is this guy and what does this person do? So now this guy is part of the building department. But if you come over here to our city council meeting, you could watch the video that happened on Tuesday, February 3rd. I'm not going to play it, but around 1 minute and 39 seconds, guys, right here, 1 minute and 39 seconds, we're gonna hear City Councilman Matt Romano talk about how we need business, how building has stalled, how we're not making any money because nobody's building any houses, which FYI, like we are building houses. If you come down 32, you're going to see houses being built. If you're heading west, coming into Orland, down 32, right by, Round Tables area, look left, you're going to see houses being built over there. So, we're doing stuff. But he's saying that, well, we're not doing a lot. We're not building a lot. We haven't been building a lot. Okay. So that is one of City Councilman Matt Romano's complaints. So when we go over here, we see the building department professional services. We paid this guy nearly $9,000. Now, for the sake of the video, I haven't pulled up all of the warrant lists from the agendas, but I can tell you that this Paxton is here month after month after month. We are paying Paxton a ton of money. So I started looking into it more to find out who is this Paxton guy. Now, when I started looking through the different reports, I found something here from August 2025. It looks like Paxton over here had reviewed a building. Nick Paxton, the city building inspector. Okay. So he's our building inspector. He is a contracted, he is not a hired W2 city employee. He is a subcontractor, which we know contractors usually make a lot more money, right? So he overlooked this building and, he said the building is not in danger of falling apart, blah, 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 right? So that was this special report. Then coming down, I see here something from September 10th, 2024. We have another Paxton. Now, this came up under an internet search. I was like, wait a second, this is another Paxton. This isn't Nicholas Paxton. This is Wyatt Paxton. So Nicholas Paxton is Wyatt Paxton's son. All right. So Wyatt Paxton used to be our building inspector. And he was our building inspector up until 2024. So building inspector efficient while Wyatt Paxton introduced Nicholas Paxton, his son, who will be overseeing local building inspectors. This guy was literally handed the job that makes a ton of money from us from his dad. And he's going to be overviewing the building department operations for 2024. Well, he's still doing it into 2024, 2025, and 2026. All right. So this guy's our building inspector. Not that there's, much wrong with that, I guess. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that are okay with daddy giving their son a job. I mean, hey, maybe he trained him up, maybe he knows a lot, but you kind of wonder, let me zoom in for you guys. You kind of wonder, it's like, where was the city on this? So in 2024, it gives us some stats here. It says the building department issued 276 permits and we generated 300,000 in permit fees. Okay, great. And then it kind of breaks down the permits, right? So we have this employee metrics basically. So, they're letting us know that, hey, you're paying us, but we're doing our job. We made you guys 300K in 2024. All right, well, okay. I mean, hey, if you're doing your job, and this particular what kind of caught my eye is that this notice is from, gosh, let me get the date on this one. Here we go. February 4th, 2025, right? So February 4th, 2025, his dad says, I'm not doing this anymore. My son's going to do it. But check out this news article. This press release here from Shasta County is September 2024. Okay. So we have how many months? September, October, November, December, January, February. So 5, 6 months later, sun's coming in. But Wyatt Paxton actually got hired by Shasta County. So this guy was just raking in the money. And apparently, this is kind of common for these building inspectors. They contract out, they contract with multiple counties, okay? And they do the work for the counties, and the county pays them a ton of money. So we have these people here that aren't even working for us full time. Clearly not working for us full time. He was working for Shasta County and he was working for Glenn County. I want to say he was doing stuff in other counties too. But you know, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So this is just another article here about Paxton, Wyatt Paxton, his history right here with Shasta County and why he got hired. But if we look back further, like who is Wyatt Paxton? Why don't we even have Wyatt Paxton? We used to have hired building officials, right? Hired building inspectors. We hired them, we paid them a set salary, and they would perform their job duties. Now, that went away. We started contracting out. So here's kind of, Mr. Friend here, Mr. Friend, our old attorney, he just comes up and he rolls up into this meeting and he says, Mr. Friend says the building department has seen many changes in 2022, and now Wyatt Paxton, the owner of Paxton Scott Enterprises, is going to be our building, run our building department with Inspector Ken Schumann and building technician Desi Simpson. I don't know what that first name is. So and then they give some then they here they give some stats again. They give us the basic building department stats. 311 permits in 2022, and I guess for whatever reason, let's see, 2021 had 284 and then 2020 was 260. So we saw upward trend, right? In 2020 there were 260, 2021 there were 284, and then 2022 there were 311. I mean, come on, can you really say it was the staff members that were adding the benefit to this growth? Well, if y'all lived through COVID, you understand that there was a supply chain issue, and these particular growths were artificially inflated by the supply chain that was coming back online, and so it subsidized that decrease in numbers that we saw during COVID when those supply chains came back online. So, is he kind of giving Wyatt here? I don't know. Is he giving him some artificial, points here? I'm not sure. So now what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at how much money have these Paxtons made for the city of Orland. So, I started putting together a spreadsheet here. Now there's a lot missing. There's a lot missing. Um, I actually can plug in some of the information here on the 2022 because we have some data on the permits, but we don't have the how many fees were collected. So it says the 2022 valuation we made 354, but we don't have the valuation for the 2020 and 2021. Let me just plug this in here into 2022 for the department fees total department fees we made here. Okay, fine. We have the total department fees. Let's plug in our numbers for 2022. Let's see, 2022, we had 311 permits. Number of permits. Let's just get this so we can see what's going on here. Here we go. And then our project valuation. I don't think it says the project valuation. Let's see. 2022. No, it doesn't give us the project valuation is like how much the total project was, and then we have how much we collected, right? So it's like around 10%. Like the 2022, oh, here it is. I highlighted it. 2022 project valuation. Okay. Okay. So I don't know how much we paid Paxton. It looks like he came online in 2022, so we don't have much payment information for Paxton. Uh, but what we do have is we do have payment information here for 2023. We don't know what our project valuations were for 2023. I'm waiting for that. But we do have that we paid Paxton 8,700. Now I went through every single warrant list in 2023. Every single warrant list. You can see all the items up here in my calculations up here, okay? Every time there was something on the warrant list, I just populated it in here, and we paid him a total of 87. So we paid him about 21%. Zoom in here for you guys. We paid him about 21% of the department fees that we collected. Okay. And then 2024 comes around, and it looks like we did get all of the data for the number of permits, the department fees collected, project valuations, and total paid to Paxton. We did get all this information for 2024, all this information. And he actually was paid 28% when it's backed to the department fees collected. This number for some reason came out 14.3. I don't know if that was supposed to be million. Let me mark that as red so I could fix that. But check out 2025. Okay, this is where I'm kind of like, wait, come on. We paid Paxton in 2025 nearly $160,000. This is his son. This is his son. Okay, remember what we went through in 2024? Wyatt rolls up in here. Okay. And he gets a job. He gets a job in 2024. He gets a job for Shasta County. And then what does he do? He oh he hands it over. In February 2025, he hands it over to his son, right? Okay, we went over that. All right. So daddy's gone. Daddy's gone now. Daddy's over in Shasta County. Look what happened to our payroll. We went from paying his dad an average, salary here of what is this? Let me zoom out here. Let me get our average. Average is down here. Average of 85K. Okay. We pay his daddy an average of 85K a year, and then he gets on payroll, and all of a sudden we're paying him double 160K, a little less than double. 160K is what we're paying him. Why are we paying him 160K? It doesn't make any sense on why we're paying him so much. And to boot, we don't have any building department stats, not in any agenda can I see anything that Nick Paxton has done? We have no number of permits. We have nothing for department fees collected. We have nothing for project valuations, but we do know how much he got paid. The only thing that I can see from Paxton is this item right here in 2025, where he rolls up in here and he says that the building isn't going to fall down. All right. And again, like I started the meeting out, if you look at a 1 hour and 39 minutes, listen to Matt Romano. Listen to Matt Romano. He sits here and for a few minutes, he goes on and on and on and on about how we're not doing any building in Glenn County. Okay, well, if we're not doing any building in Glenn County, why in the world are we paying this guy, Nicholas Paxton, $160,000? We haven't even gotten a building report. So if you look for the building reports 2022, 2023, 2024, they had did this in the beginning of the year. So now I haven't seen the agenda yet. Let's see if they have the agenda out. Let's see if we got Nicholas Paxton speaking at this next agenda. Nope, nothing out. Let me refresh this. Let's see if anything is loaded here. Nope, we don't have our agenda packet out. So maybe Mr. Paxton is going to be, up here doing his building department report like Public Works just did the last meeting. I don't know. But I'm gonna ask, guys. I already requested this. Not only did I request that, I actually requested 2017 and 2018. The reason why I did that is because in 2017 and in 2018, we had a hired building inspector that we were paying and they were making around 80 something K. Okay, so they were making close to what Wyatt Paxton was making. So, but now all of a sudden we done double. We've doubled the salary and our building has slowed. So, anyways, I will let you know. I'll let you know, guys, what comes back with this data and what we're showing here because we need to know. We need to know what were our metrics for 2025 and what were our metrics for 2017 and 2018 when we had a somebody that was on payroll. Were we keeping more of our money? Were we being more productive? I'm suspicious here with this that these contracted building inspectors are more uh you know um they're more productive because obviously we know that they work in more than one places. We have his daddy right here that was working in two places. He was getting paid from Shasta and he was getting paid by us. So for 6 months, he was doing double duties, but had some help on the side by his son. It's kind of like, okay, were they working 40 hours a week for us? And a lot of these building inspectors, when they are hired on, they aren't working 40 hours a week. They're working 50, 60 hours a week. So anyhow, I wanted to share this with you guys. I will let you know what I hear back, what those numbers look like. I did do a records request. They are gathering that information and getting it back to me. But I urge everybody, go watch the city council meeting from February 3rd and go to your minute 39 and watch Matt Romano say, hey, we aren't building anything. And then look at what we paid Paxton for 2025, 160K. Make it make sense, guys. I'll talk to you later.